Welcome back, friends. Today's conversation is, what are you chasing? My name is Leanne Wolf. I am your human design professional and your BG5 business and career consultant. So today's conversation is around, what are you chasing? So this was sparked by a client interaction, and my client came to me and she was just overwhelmed. She'd been crying for a while, and in our conversations, I began to recognize exactly what was going on with Christy. Now, we went through her human design body graph, and in our conversations, what I learned was, number one, she was this amazing accountant. She was partner in an accounting firm, actually, and she made, 6 figures salary every year. She had this great supportive husband. She was fulfilled with her children. And yet there was this emptiness inside. And she was so upset. She's like, why do I still feel empty? What is happening? So in each coaching session, we uncovered a few things. But the one thing that was really amazing to me was, I recognized that she had been chasing the wrong dream. And what do I mean by that? Well, she was chasing this dream that her parents had instilled in her. And there's a lot of us that do this. And this dream was to have this prestigious job as this accountant and make the money, have the nice house, have the car, have the kids, have the husband. And she went along with it. And in college, what was really important to her was that she actually loved music. So she took a minor in music and a major in accounting. And she loved her music. She loved to play, she loved to compose, she loved to do all of that stuff. But as the years went by, that was something that fell to the wayside. Her passion, her purpose actually went to the wayside as she built this accounting firm, and she had her family and her supportive husband. Now, where we got to in this was, she was actually scared to have this conversation with her husband, that she really, really loved music and was really missing it. And what totally surprised me was this: her children didn't even know that she played music because she hadn't done it for so long. So her fear was that she was going to get rejected by her family if she chose to step into a music career instead of being this accountant. So we went through her design, and lo and behold, this fear of rejection, of course, showed up in her design. And there's 2 different spaces in the human design body graph where fear of rejection shows up, and that's the 49 and the 43. The 43 is all about that rejection of your own personal breakthrough, and the 49 really is about being rejected in rejected as in, you're not going to be able to provide for the family. So you get rejected based off of you not being able to provide, but also you reject yourself and your passions because you've been conditioned to believe that you have to reject those passions because they'll never pay for or feed your family. Okay? So this fear of rejection was seething from her. She was so scared to have this conversation with her husband. She was so scared to have this conversation with her family that she really, really loved music and really deeply wanted to explore it. And yet she kept stuffing that down, and it wasn't happening for her. Like I say, her kids didn't even know that she was this music wizard, really, because she could compose her own music. So in our conversations, we went into the deep work. You have to go into the deep work. You have to go into the subconscious conditioning, into the convincing that's been happening throughout her life. So we went in there and we began to to reprogram that subconscious mind so that those fears became an awareness. And with my support, she was able to turn that around. So one of the things that I really ingrained in her is to understand that when we follow our design, and it's so funny because in her design, it was written, she's an educator, and music, poetry, art is like a massive part of her zone of genius. Actually, it's written right in her DNA. And she was totally blown away by that. She was like, really? So I've been, forcing myself and chasing this dream of somebody else's idea of who and what I should be. So now when she saw it, she was flabbergasted. Oh goodness. She was amazed that she was able to move down this path. And what I kept ingraining in her is that, your future students are actually waiting for you because they can't learn music from anybody else. They're waiting for you to align to this, because that's what human design tells us, is that once we're aligned to our own geometry, then that fractal of people open up. So it's like you're walking down the street, right? Or driving down the street, and you got all these people that are along the sidewalks. And all of those people, the ones that are waiting for you, they literally lift their head. They engage with you. They wave at you. They're ready for you. They're waiting. And her people are waiting for her. She just needed to align to it. So the week after this conversation took place, she came on our coaching call and she was like full of smiles. And she was so excited. And yet she was still crying. And it was tears of joy, because what she said was that after the prior coaching call, her husband actually approached her and opened up the conversation of her stepping into her music a little deeper. Now, isn't that profound? So what the universe does is, when you're really ready, when you're ready to go through that breakthrough and really realize who you are and step into your design, and you do the inner work, that's the most important. We have to do the inner work. I could tell you all day long about your human design. Every day, all day long, I could tell you. But if there's no actual inner work that gets done, there's no breakthroughs internally that get done, then there's no space for the universe to then assist you and support you and help you with this. So she did the internal work. Her and I walked through all of that rejection. We uncovered it. We discombobulated it. We did what we need to do. And then what the universe did was said, oh, look at that. She has space. So the next support was that her husband actually initiated the conversation. Like, you can't make this stuff up, you guys. So if you are ready, apply below. Let's get you in this program. Let's get you moving forward. Christy and her husband right now are doing the planning of, how do we create this school? What does it look like? Financially, they have to make sure they're prepared. And she wants to make sure that she's not, taking away anything from the finances in a way that feels selfish, because that's who she is. She's someone who is here for the family. And her husband is 100% supporting her in creating this plan so that she can eventually move out of her accountant's role and fully step in full-time as an entrepreneur in this music school. Now, something that you want to do is just sitting there. It keeps niggling at you. It's under your skin. It wants to be shown. Let's get you there, because this is the time. You and I are here on this cusp while this cross of planning is breaking down and the cross of the sleeping phoenix is coming up and rising up. This awareness inside of us is really asking us to come to alignment. So if you want that support, apply below. If you want to step into what your purpose is, what you're designed for, your zone of genius, I would love to support you in that movement. All right, friends, have fun this week and play around with this. Your homework could be, go deep into those desires. What are some of those things that really brought you a lot of joy, a lot of yumminess inside? What are some of those things? And let's go in there and play and see, This could be your life if you let it be your life. All right, friends, have a good week.